Hello everybody, it's Kara from Wild Book Garden, and today I'm here to talk about a challenge that I will be participating in 2023. And that is that me and my lovely friend Julia from Shakespeare and Such are going to be competing to see who can clear the most books off their physical TBR in the year 2023. We blatantly stole this idea from Olivia Savannah at Olivia's Catastrophe and Hannah at Lad at M. I will link their channels and their challenge videos down below, and this just seemed really fun and like a really great way to work on our physical TBRs. So when Julia suggested that we do something kind of like this, like asking if I would want to do it, I said absolutely, because we definitely are both trying to work on our physical TBRs. So this is going to be a very competitive and interesting way to do it. So we are using the same point system as Olivia Savannah and Hannah, and a lot of the same rules as well. So basically, Julia and I are both starting the year with 0. This is a game where like you actually want negative points, you want like the lowest number possible, because for every book that we haul onto our physical TBR, we add a point. But for every book that we get off our physical TBR, whether by reading it or unhauling it unread, we will subtract a point. And we did some of the same rules, like I said, so we are not counting gifts against each other. Like if we're gifted a book, that doesn't count against us. And also if we're given like any physical arcs, those also don't count against us. So of course, the only books that we are going to be able to count for the challenge of like getting books off our physical TBR are books that actually are considered part of our physical TBR. So not library books, not digital books. Rereads most of the time are not going to count, but we do kind of have like there are some that are going to count that are going to be kind of exceptions because they are like rereads for a particular project. For example, Julia is going to be annotating a book that is a reread, but she had to buy a different copy, and like that is a book that she needed to read in order to like do the annotation. Oh, and I should also mention that the benefit of doing the point system like this is that we're not being like punished or scored based on what our physical TBR already is. So it doesn't matter who's starting out with more books on their physical TBR. The only thing that matters is how many we can clear off from whatever that number is. So once again, Hannah and Olivia Savannah did a great job at coming up with these rules, so we pretty much just like copied them. And we also, I don't think we confirmed this like rule yet, but I'm assuming that buying books you've already read is not going to count against you in any way, because obviously that would not be adding to your physical TBR because it's not a TBR book. And there are a few things that we will kind of address as they come up throughout the year. Julia created a spreadsheet that we are going to be using to track our like our TBR books hauled and our physical TBR books taken off our TBR for every month. So we will be inputting that every month. And we're also planning to do a few different video updates. So I think we're planning to do 3 of those throughout the year. So every 4 months about, we're going to do one and check in and see how we're doing. Yeah, I'm nervous. We'll see how this goes. I am very excited though, and this is definitely something that I really need to work on, and so I'm so glad to be working on it with Julia, who is lovely. I will obviously link her channel and her challenge announcement down below, and now I will have Julia share a little bit about her thoughts on the challenge, how she thinks it's going to go.
Well, hello there. I'm sorry to interrupt what I'm sure is Kara's very beautifully lit video. I'm coming to you from the dark of the night like I'm Rasputin. But I am Julia from Shakespeare and Such, and I'm sure she's already told you how we are going head to head in this project, in this ambitious endeavor, okay? And I think it's gonna be good for both of us, honestly. We've got some pretty hefty physical TBRs, and we need to do some damage here. I'm reluctantly optimistic. I know Kara reads a lot more than me just generally, so she's got that on her side, but I've got a few aces up my sleeve, okay? Kara does not really love audiobooks, and I am pretty steady with my audiobook consumption, so if I continuously pick titles that I already own, that's going to work in my favor. I'm also just incredibly competitive, so if I can see that I'm behind, you better believe I'm gonna buckle down and try to catch up. And I don't think that should fall to the wayside. I think that's a pretty important factor here. But I don't know. I think you know, it's going to be an interesting run, and I'm happy to go on this journey with you, Kara. Best of luck to both of us, because we're gonna need it.
Okay, so that's everything, I think. If I have forgotten to mention anything else, I will put that info in the description. Thank you again, Olivia, Savannah, and Hannah, for this wonderful project idea and for letting us steal it from you. We'll see how this goes. I am, as I said, I'm excited, but also nervous, but also excited. And we are starting on January 1st, 2023, and we are going all the way through December 31st. So it is just taking the whole year. And yeah, look forward to seeing how we do. I'm trying to tell myself that if I just manage to like get more books off my TBR, my physical TBR, than I bring on, that will count as like a success for me. But y'all know me, I'm also very competitive, so I also kind of want to win. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!